Hey, my friends, so today we're going to talk about course modules. You know, we talked about the topics yesterday, so how do you figure out what course modules or which course modules, or how do you separate your course into modules? What do you put in there? Because, you probably know like 50 different things you could put in separate modules for your topic because you know your topic, right? But how do you pick the right number? Because you don't want to have 50 modules. Trust me, that's not a winning course. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but first this. So the real question is this: what are the strategies, techniques, and tools that you need to learn to generate residual income from the e-learning boom that's happening right now? My name is Jean-Serge Gagnon, and welcome to Course Income Secrets. All right, so yesterday we talked about, asking questions and figuring out what topics to put in your course. Those are really your modules. But the thing is that how do you go about getting people to answer those questions? How do you set that up? How do you put together what's the process, right? From start to finish. I mean, you can sit down. Obviously, you can sit down and you can write on a piece of paper all the topics that you think all the modules or all the subjects, if you will, that you think your topic or your course should contain, right? All the pieces that you think you should be teaching. And, maybe you're really, really good at understanding what your audience wants, and maybe you'll choose the right things and you're going to put the course together the right way and it's going to be great and people are going to want to buy it and everything else, right? Maybe you're really good at that. But chances are that you're just like me. You're just like, I think I'm good, but I'm not really that great. I don't know what people really want. I think that I know what they want, but I really don't. Nobody really knows what somebody else wants, right? I'm no different. I don't really know what you want. And that's why I constantly put little topics, little videos, little episodes, little podcasts, just little 5-10 minute, episodes on particular topics, so that we go and we grow and we learn and we teach little things and here and there, and eventually you get something that is of value. So for me, when I'm thinking about a course, I'm looking at, and actually I'm still learning lots. I'm going through lots of training, and one of the things I keep hearing over and over is the concept of figuring out your modules, really your modules, your pieces to your course. So say you've got 50 different things. Now, how do you go and choose out of those 50, which should you put? Because the other thing that's important to remember is that a digital course, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, right? If you're trying to accomplish, a full featured thing which has everything in it that, only a select few people are going to want to buy, then go ahead, put together a course that's got 50, 60, 100 modules in it, that has everything that, that your elite few are going to want to buy, and maybe sell it for $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever you want, right? And you can do that, but you're going to have less people, buying that, right? So the best course out there, the best courses out there have around 10 modules, right? 6 to 12. So depending on the courses. Now, each module can be further separated into lessons, into content, into ebooks, into different things, quizzes, that kind of stuff. There's all sorts of different things you can put in a module. A module being like, it's kind of like a chapter to a book, I guess, right? Or it's kind of like when you go to the university or college, you've got a course that goes on through the whole semester, but throughout the semester, maybe every week or two, they change to a different topic, right? So in philosophy, maybe you talk about one Descartes, and then another couple of weeks you talk about another philosopher, and then another one, right? So that's what a module is in the online world. So how do you know what to put in modules? All right. So the way to do it, one of the ways, obviously there's different ways, but one of the ways to do it is to put together a free version of your course, if you will, that you're going to perform online, either as a webinar or as a 5-day challenge or a 14-day or 60-day, or right. I mean, one of the recommendations is 6 weeks, because typically when we sell something, we sell it with a 30-day money back guarantee, right? That's the norm, if you will. Of course, you can do different, but by making it 6 weeks, it's considered to be not too long, to be forever, and not too short that people feel they don't get the value, right? So you can do a 6-week, or you can do a 5-day challenge if you want to do different things, right? It really depends on your topic of the course itself, right? But the idea is that you're going to put together something that people will be able to participate for free. Now, that doesn't mean you just go out there and you give it away for free, because you need something in return, even though it's not money in this case, because it's your beta of your course, if you will. You're going to be putting together this free course because you're looking for people to get results from your course, right? To get the what the course is about. You want these people to get those results. So what you want to do is you want to create the simplest thing is you create a funnel page, all right? A funnel page, a capture page, which with whatever tool you want. If you want to use ClickFunnels, let me know. I can help you set that up. Of course, it's an affiliate program, so I'd love for you to join with my link. So let me know all that. But the thing is that for ClickFunnels or other tools out there, you create a page with one question on there. You say, I'm just putting the finishing touches on course X, right? So how to X without X, right? How to lose weight without cutting your carbs. How to make money online without spending tons on advertising, right? How to grow your Facebook likes without spending ads on like campaigns, right? How to X without. So I'm putting the finishing touches on course How to X without X. And I just wanted to know, what is your top question on this, on How to X, right? So what is your top question? And I'm going to give you a free access to the beta, but all you need to do is answer this one question. Give me your top question on the topic, and I'll give you the link to join the private beta, right? So that gives you people that will get in your private beta, your free beta, by answering a question. They have to answer that question if they want to be in your private training, right? To build your course. So that will give you typically what you want to do is you want to get at least 100 participants. So you get at least 100 questions answered. So that means it could take longer. There's different ways to get, so you got that page, right? But how do you get people to that page to answer that question, right? So there's different ways. Of course, you can do ads if you want. But the better way is to go into groups, say in Facebook. You go into groups where your target market hangs out, and you start to look at the post and look at the questions they're posting there, start to answer questions that you know the answer to, start to interact with the group and be there and post things and just generally help out. Don't try to spam anything in there. Don't try to put links to your capture page or anything like that. Just try to be there to help out in that group, right? And then after a week or two, you can then say, hey, by the way, I'm doing this course on X. Is that something you'd be interested maybe in joining in? It's going to be a free course, but I just need you to help me with the content by answering a question. I can send you the link to the page, and you can generally do that. I'm not saying post that in the group, but as you build relationships with people, you can start asking them questions, connecting with people and asking them if they want to be part of that beta, right? And so that's one way. That's another way. The other way, of course, is just messaging and building relationships, just the way we do on social media. There's all sorts of training on that. I've done some in the past too. But basically, you want to get people to that capture page. You need to create that capture page, right, with your question on there, with their name and email, so that you can then send them the link to the free beta. And you need to send people to that page so that they can see that you're building this course and that they can answer the question to get the course for free, right? Then after that, you'll have your course and you'll have the list of questions. And out of the 100 questions, you're going to come up with your list of modules. You're going to be able to decide which ones are the most popular. You put that in your course as your 10 modules or 12 or 8 modules, whatever it is. And you create your course based on those questions. So that's how you decide which are the best modules to put in your course. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you think anybody else needs to hear this message, then please go ahead and share. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. and I would too. This has been Course Income Secrets, the entrepreneur's blueprint to generating income from the e-learning boom. Some of your friends need to hear this message, so don't forget to share. For more content like this, go to CourseIncomeSecrets.com and make sure to subscribe and follow us here. My name is Jean-Serge Gagnon. Until next time.